The Diode SuperGP Champions Trophy is proudly brought to you by Digital Entertainment On Demand and their associate sponsors. Time to bring the Super Juniors to the line for the very first time, down in the Mother City. And it's a great field of riders. Local man, though, is the one to catch. Kieran Snyman setting the pace early on, Wild William Friend right with him. And Brandon Staffen also doing a great job for the Mother City.
So Gauteng right in the middle of the front row. William Friend, the championship points leader at this stage of the season. Everyone, though, is chasing down the local knowledge of the Cape Town pair that split the front row in first and third.
Wait for the lights now as they drop off. We head down to turn one, and it's a great start from William Friend. Nice one from Coccione. Just in the background, keep an eye on Dominic Doyle. Doyle's starting to show some promise in this championship.
Yeah, he is running the all-orange colours right now. It is Wild William Friend, the biggest rider in the field. But watch out for the local knowledge, and we always talk about it. Heading into turn number 2, that's where you can see who has played all their games and knows their way around the circuit. The second of the Cape Town riders getting completely swallowed up, though. The 95 way back there outside the top 5.
Staffen didn't get a great start at all, and he's not capitalising on the fact that he was on the front row. However, his Cape Town counterpart is doing absolutely perfect job of it at the front and has now taken the lead from William Friend.
It's got a real good flow, the Killarney circuit, as we sweep around the top end. It is all about carrying as much speed as you can through the dip, but you can see the suspension is loading up super hard as they head into Malmesbury, and Coccione is starting to drop off there. The top 2 stretching it out as they go down the back straight for the very first time.
Back straight is an incredible bit of manoeuvring. And in these motorcycles, probably going to get close to the 160, 170 kilometre an hour mark. And then it's everything she's got on the brakes to get down into Cape Town corner. Pirelli are sponsoring that corner this weekend. They are the official suppliers, of course, for Diode SuperGP Champions Trophy. And here comes Staffen.
Yeah, Staffen on the big feedback there. Just looks like he got boxed out coming out of turn number 2. It's taken him literally the rest of the lap to get himself up there, and he will now go chasing things down. If Coccione plays his cards right, himself and Doyle that run in 4 and 5 right now should be able to tag onto the tail and go for it.
Tyrese Robert not too far away from those two, and also onto that little steam train looking for a third place. Any one of those 4 riders can get it. Right now it's in the hands of Staffen. At the front though, Kieran Snyman is doing everything right to keep William Friend at bay.
Yeah, Snyman working very, very well, but as the day has gone on, we've watched all of the Gauteng riders who have never ever set a wheel or set a lap around the Killarney circuit get better and better. So I don't think we've started the race just yet. It's going to build up, and the last 5 laps will be a bun fight.
Remember, this is a national challenge this year. National championship points up for grabs next season. So right now they're learning circuits. Every single time the Super Juniors go away, it's a new circuit, it's a new learning curve, and they'll get all the setup and everything they need in terms of telemetry to get ready for 2016.
Man on the move right now is Doyle. Change up in the 4th place position. Coccione made a mistake. He knows about it as well. Looks over his shoulder into the eyes of Tyrese Robert on the 2-2 machine, and Coccione is now chasing down the all-orange 26 of Doyle.
Doyle looks good. I must say he's got real comfortable with the circuit really early on. Coccione goes alongside. A little bit of slightly smaller frame on Coccione, might be able to use this, and yeah, you can see he's just saying to Doyle, tuck in, use me for the slipstream effect, let's try and get away. And if Tyrese Robert is clever, he'll do the same thing and make it a 3-way split between those bikes and their ability through the air. So
Coccione slices his way through, gets back up into position, but all this chopping and changing is slowing the pace down for the chasers in 4th place. Look what's happening in 3rd though. We're going to have a 3-horse race soon. All of a sudden, it is the 2 Cape Town boys. In fact, it is the top 3 qualifiers who are going to be doing the business from now on. They have joined forces, and here we go.
First time we see Friend hit the front other than the whole strut he got earlier on. It's now William Friend leading the 2 Cape Town counterparts. On his tail is Snyman. Kieran Snyman knows his way around this track. He's done a couple of laps. I can tell you he's going to be a tough man to beat here at his home track. Look at that, the foot already coming out. And what a move, using the inside line over the speed bump. And you can see that has helped Brandon Staffen out. He's now onto the back end, and it's 3 win fighting for first.
Now Snyman was boxed out a little bit there. We know that the outside line on the entry to turn number 2 keeps you off the bumps, but if you go too far out, then you're out onto the curbs and you cannot get the tip-in point. William Friend did a real good block there.
Looks back straight into the eyes of Snyman. Snyman looks back, there's no one there. How is this side by side? You don't get a lot of opportunities to go side by side.
I think Snyman was caught out there. He had no option but to hang it out wide and stay in it. I didn't think there was grip out there, but the Super Juniors are finding it, and here we go. Staffen on the 95, he spreads wide, inside line is covered by the first of the Cape Town riders on the 46, and William Friend is the main man on the brakes.
And Friend has lost out, and so has Snyman.
That was
what
third.
A move from Staffen.
third to first place. Absolutely huge numbers. They have slowed down the pace as well, because you can see Coccione is pulling up to the bumper.
Yeah, not many laps left for these guys. I think this is a matter of survival mode now. Coccione can smell blood in the water. He can possibly get up and get into this little fight for first place. Once again, onto the brakes, into turn 1. Hard braking coming out of Sneyman. Can he make it stick? Even harder from William Friend.
Yeah, different line though. It's not going to give him a great exit speed. He is going to be having to hug that curb way too long. But that's what we've seen for the first 2 rounds. We've seen different lines and different racecraft coming out of William Friend because he is such a muscular rider and able to place the bike where he wants to.
3x3 into turn 2. Not going to be easy. Discover Digital turn 2, and you can see, wow, that was close. Almost touching between the 2 Cape Town riders, and leathers were being exchanged. Elbows and knees, I'd have to say.
So Stefan Sneyman leading things out right now. William Friend, watch this line up the inside. He has been so strong up the inside lines, shoves it into Dam's Dip, and Cape Town once again goes sweeping around the outs. I cannot believe there is so much room out there. No other category of racing is able to go side by side through those 2 corners.
Especially through here. Malmesbury is a very difficult corner to get right on any day, and when you're going to go side by side with a rider that close, it just makes it even more difficult. Coccione's coming. Look at the different lines. Look where the Cape Town guys are going. They go right to the inside of the circuit before they cut across to get to the braking markers down here into Pirelli turn 5. Oh, cutting each other's noses off.
You know what, as we were looking up the NGL logistics straight, I was trying to pick up on the Bry smoke and the flags. There's no big wind pumping at the moment. Normally when the wind starts to hammer it, that's when the Cape Town locals always fade to the left-hand side and hide behind that wall.
Hiding against the wall now as they come down the main straight. Only a couple of laps to go for these youngsters. They're putting on one of the best shows we've seen all season, and we're only in round 3. Can you imagine what's going to happen as we get into the second part of this season? Up the inside from William Friend. That's Wild Will in the house.
That's what we've been talking about. He is able to just shove it up the inside. The front end never looks like it's out of shape, and he made the 2 Cape Town locals sit up to the tune of 2 bike lengths. So William Friend takes it back and pulls an immediate lead. If he's got a chink in his armor, turn 2, he ain't strong there.
He's just not able to carry the same corner speed as what the 2 Cape Town boys and Coccione are able to do. Nice run there from Luca Coccione, slowly but surely closing in and looking to put the pressure back onto the 2 men that beat him in qualifying.
So here we go, Cape Town once again side by side, feeling each other out, and definitely the arrival of different players from around different parts of the country. Predominantly, it is all Gauteng, but now all of a sudden, Cape Town are coming into the mix and showing what they can do.
It's great to see these 2 youngsters, and hopefully they can follow the season and go right to the end of this first championship round, and of course this first championship in Super Juniors. As they head down that back straightaway now, look at the slipstream effect.
Watch Coccione.
Yeah, Coccione's right there, but look at that. Sneyman pulls out almost to perfection, and he got enough drive almost to sneak around the outside of William Friend.
Stefan inside, Sneyman outside, and we are watching the king of the outside lines. Every single corner on this track, he's able to sit out there. Normally, a rider like that would get hung out to dry. He's confident in his abilities, and he stays right in it. We're going to see another lead change as we cross the line, Greg.
There's 1,000th of a second as they cross the line, Matt, between those top 3 bikes. It's only half a second back to Coccione. So any one of these first 4 can get to the top step of the podium.
Now, Coccione is just doing a learning job right now. He has done great work in the middle part of this race to get himself involved. The top 4 have now started to stretch away. Coccione, sneaky look over his shoulder, making sure he is out of that battle behind him. And you can see that Doyle, unfortunately, has just got beaten up. Saw Tyrese Roberts sweep around his outside. That's a change up for 5th.
I can't believe how well William Friend goes through turn 1. He now seems to have got turn 2 sorted out through the kink, down towards turn 3 now. And the Dio Dam's Dip. Whoa, look how close it is between the 2 Cape Town boys. Also, you don't get a lot of opportunities to go side by side. Look, it's Sneyman round the outside again.
Once again, the king of the outside line. Not only on the outside. Oh, I'm so glad he pulled that one back in. I have seen him, and we have seen him, sweep around the outside of Malmesbury before. But if you get shoved wide, there is a wall of tyres there ready to eat you.
William Friend sneaks to the inside line now. Look at that. Stefan saying to Sneyman, come on, we've got to work together here. 2 bikes will definitely go through this air quicker than 1. And that is 100% right. Stefan now around the outside,
both
taking
of them.
Sneyman as well.
Both of them switch out. That was a clever call. Good spot on your side there, Greg. Seeing the hand, he says, come with me. Switched across to the outside line, carried much more speed. In fact, the outside line, we know, is a slightly easier dip and bump to go through, so you can stay on the pipe a little bit longer. And both the Cape Town lads do good and get themselves into 1st and 2nd place. Watch William Friend come straight back on the big brakes.
Now into turn 1.
Gets one.
He gets 1. Doesn't quite get the other one. Forces Sneyman wide. He won't be worried about that. We've already seen the capability of Sneyman. But how's the corner speed that William Friend can carry through turn 1?
Just a bigger kid. We talk about it the whole way through the year. He is able to carry a slightly easier angle, which means he sets the bike up earlier, gets the big imprint more of the time. Oh, Friend's got a problem. Friend's got a massive problem there as he tipped it into turn number 2. Something let go in a huge way.
Yeah, he's run out completely. He's gone to the inside of the circuit. You can see him just in the background. It's now a 2-horse race. 2 Cape Town boys fighting for honours. And it looks like Coccioni's going to hang on to get an absolute gift of a podium.
Yeah, that's a great situation. Look at that long way back to pick up on Doyle. Doyle has taken the fight all the way to Tyrese Robert, but still no sign of Wild William Friend, your current championship points leader, out of this one.
I think he's still stuck up at turn 2. That's a massive problem for him. And so late in the race, you don't want to be having that. Oh, here we go.
Elbows out.
More elbows and some more and some more.
Okay, we've got rid of Wild Will. We've got rid of Gauteng, but we haven't got rid of Coccioni. I don't think they've seen Coccioni. He is sneaking up there like a stealth warrior.
Yeah, they have no idea that he's coming along for the ride, and if something goes wrong between these two,
Whoa.
which is highly likely, if that's the kind of riding we're seeing out of them, Coccioni will be waiting to pounce.
Shoving it wide, and these guys are going all out for this one. Look at them hiding behind the wall, everyone seeing the applause. No one will have known until this point in the pits that William Friend is out of it.
Love the fact that they come out of that heat haze. There you can see across there, William Friend trying to push his bike back into contention, but it's gone. He's out of it, and they're going to go past him on this next lap. It's still 2 Cape Town boys at the front. Sneyman leads at the moment, Staffen in second. But Coccioni, in my books, probably the most dangerous man on the track.
Yeah, he's come from absolutely nowhere. He looks very relaxed, hasn't had to defend, hasn't had to do any big maneuvers. Got himself into that position. Well, that's a wide line. That's going to hurt him. And you can see he just pushed the front end a little bit too hard. Here is a telling shot. William Friend pushing his bike just constantly as he sees the top 3 come on through.
Unfortunately, these two haven't had much to do with the championship just yet. However, if they continue in this championship for 2015, there's going to be some problems there for William Friend.
Bring home a couple of top 3s. All of a sudden, we're going to see the score shots change completely. You see, great shot there of Doyle. Doyle's done a good job. I just don't know what happened to him right in the middle of the race. Just lost his thunder, got taken back, and he's getting eaten up by Tyrese Robert. And I think all his attention is focused behind. Right now, Cape Town have had enough of messing around, and they are checking out.
William Friend eventually parked on the sideline, tried everything he could to get that bike started up again. Hopefully they'll get it sorted out. I'm sure the boys from Rad Motos will get that KTM sorted for race number 2, and he'll be back in the hunt for the victory.
This is going to be the big push to the finish now. What a ride from Coccioni. I think this is his arrival in the championship. Cape Town, we expected to see them throw down some big numbers, but we didn't expect to see this kind of dominance.
Staffen up the inside of Sneyman. Sneyman probably let him through there. Doesn't want to lead onto the back straight. I think that's probably a real good tactic to have, because remember, with the slipstream effect coming into play here, we've already seen it. The ability of the bike in second or third place usually is better than the one leading.
Doyle and Robert with no one in the background. Let's recall, by the way, there are still another 4 bikers out there going at it and doing all the battle. And we spoke to a lot of them, especially the Gauteng riders. They said super hard to learn this circuit, not just the flow, but how extremely bumpy it is. And with the bike still being in the development year, the shocks are just tweaking and they're having to turn screws every single practice session.
Yeah, the difference being is that they don't run the aftermarket shocks that the International Series run. These are stock standard shocks that come out on these motorcycles. So they're not really conducive to racing. Although the way that Rad Motors and KTM South Africa have been working with these machines, they're getting better and better.
Yeah, getting some aftermarket triple clamps on there, stiffening them up as hard as they can and doing development work as the 2 Cape Town lads stare at each other. It's literally a face-off down into Cape Town corner.
It looked like Staffen was looking across to see when that brake lever was going to be pulled. It wasn't pulled.
Remember,
they both went into Cape Town almost flat out.
These guys are coming out of the regional series where they race in the 150s, so they know exactly what it is all about. Small category, small capacity bike racing around Killarney Circuit is all about strategy.
They're coming to the line now. They're going to be side by side and also split by less than half. I'm going to say half a hundredth of a second. That's how close those two were.
Absolutely nothing. Right now, they're just sizing each other up. They know they have got the class, they've got the pace, and they've got the style to throw down and not have to back it off and worry about Coccioni. It is a 2-horse race, and they are putting on a show at their first ever national competition.
Sneyman now leads things out. Staffen comes back at him on the inside, trying to find a way through. has his door firmly shut in his face, unfortunately, by Snyman. Snyman looks like he's got a little bit of an edge there as he comes out of turn 2. He's just left it about 3 or 4 bike lengths ahead. It might be enough to spoil the slipstream effect down that back straight.
Remember, the first time we have ever seen the Super Junior category here at the Killarney Cape Town circuit, and whoever wins this will be the first victor in this brand new category, and no doubt a lap record holder is going to come out of one of the Cape Town kids.
Coccione still in third place, probably just settled for that third now as they come out of the Portable Shade Malmesbury area, heading down the NGL Logistics Straight. Look at this.
A little bit of an advantage there.
He's got enough, I think, to hang on.
All you need is to come out of Malmesbury with about 3 bike lengths. Super hard for anyone to get up there. And the Cape Town, big mistake there, big twitch. Just maybe get down one too many. Was able to react and pull it back in time, and I think this is all she wrote.
A lovely run here from Snyman and Staffen. Pity Friend is out. As I said earlier on, though, possibility of him getting that bike sorted out is probably high on the cards as the checkered flag comes out. High above the riders, and race 1 goes to Kieran Snyman, Brandon Staffen in second, and Luca Coccione. A fantastic effort to finish in third.
Going off, and remember, this is the longest race any of these Super Juniors will have ever done, especially the Cape Town lads that race in the regional series on the smaller 150s. But here's confirmation. Kieran Snyman from Cape Town beats out Brandon Staffen from Cape Town. Luca Coccione, his best ride of the season, gets into a top 3.
Dominic Doyle, Tyrese Robert, Jared Schultz, Ryan Joubert, and our lady rider Jenna Claire echoed in 8th with a DNF for Wild Will.
First race for the Super Juniors. The first time they have been around the Killarney circuit in the mother city here in Cape Town. And the guys are on their warm-up lap. All high fives all around for the little RC 390s. And I don't know what to say. There's something in the water down here in Cape Town. We are delivering every single time we line a set of racing up. Some of the best racing we have seen, not just this season, but for the last couple of years. So we know heat number 2 of the KTM RC 390s, we know them as the Super Juniors, are going to deliver it once again. Kieran Snyman, Brendan Staffen, and William Friend have made themselves heroes. And Friend, of course, recovering from the problems that he had on the 34 machine and hoping that he can get the job done. And the championship points leader will be able to score some points. He needs to finish in the top 3 today to keep his nose clean and stay on the money. Kieran Snyman, Staffen is going to be moving his way through. Staffen, Brendan Staffen on the 95. Recognizable by those neon yellow colors that he has adorned his bike with. But remember, Tyrese Roberts so strong in the early stages of the race on the 22, coming out of row number 2. Let's see what they can do. The 46 gets a big fire off the line. So Kieran Snyman looking at the whole shot, but look at Wild Will. He's got that good setup, and he's going to climb up the inside and had to make Kieran Snyman roll out of that one. So again, Wild William Friend just gets that thing hooked up. The bigger kid can muscle it off the line, and he sees clear air in the early stages straight away once again. And once again into turn number 2, which we know today as Portable Shade turn. He gets busted wide. Coccione way wide, looking for a berm out there. Tyrese Robert goes through, and he's going to take up the chase. Coccione takes him straight back. Tyrese cuts back underneath, going into Dam Stip, which is Discover Digital. The Quad D corner, as we know it today, before they go into the back of the circuit, set themselves up for Malmesbury, which is Pirelli, turn number 4, heading down the back straight for the first time. And clearly, these kids learned a lot coming out of not only yesterday's practice session and this morning warm-up practice and qualifying, but in race number 1, that's where they learnt the most. And a lot of these guys, particularly Tyrese on the 22, have come to the party. The top 3 are starting to slightly break away, but Coccione, currently in 4th place with Tyrese Robert in 5th, should work well together and close that gap down. At the end of lap number 1, coming straight down, it is the 46 once again. Kieran Snyman, pole man, and Wild Will that is starting to stretch it out front. Coccione and Tyrese doing very well. So Tyrese Robert, he got locked into that battle early on in race number 1 with Dominic Doyle. He's left him way behind. He's going to be going at it with the 21 of Jared Schultz. And here we go once again. 1 lap done, 9 to go. William Friend leads out over Snyman, Staffen, Coccione, Robert Schultz. Doyle is there, Rhino Joubert, and Jenna Claire Eckert. So much closer in the early stages of this race. once again, Coccione not figuring out turn number 2, portable shade turn, as they go into the tech zone through the sweeper, the little kink, and heading into Discover Digital, turn number 3. You can see that everyone is starting to feel the pace, and good turnaround here for Tyrese Robert on the 22 to run with the pack early on. William Friend covering that inside line once again at Pirelli, and outside. Sneyman just forcing his way through. He's going to take William Friend all the way to the wire as everyone starts queuing themselves up. But good to see the top 5 bunch themselves up. And Tyrese Robert and Coccione just need to stay there. Big change up there, the double slip, and 95. Staffen comes through to lead things out. So no breakaway like we saw last time, but the Cape Town 2, this is where it is danger zone for everyone else. William Friend will be hoping that his bike will hold together properly this time around, and across the stripe with 8 laps remaining, and everyone is holding their breath now. A great 5-way cluster, Greg, and this is setting ourselves up for one of the best races we have seen. No breakaways, and Tyrese Robert and Coccione are staying in the body.
So good to see that, Matt. Sorry to keep you going for such a long time, but there's some running around to do downstairs. And
I hear you, buddy.
We eventually got all sorted out. As you can see, a final little bit there with a nice initiative from our turn run guys, and a big thanks to the benefactors there. They came out to make sure that we get some people off the streets and rehabilitated back into society with a bit of a skill behind their names as well. But talking of skill, 5 riders with plenty skill and just loving life with the way that the kind of action that they're giving us here this weekend.
Just to let you know, with 2.5 laps in the bag, the fastest man out there is Luca Coccione running in 4th place. So he has done a great job to stay up there. And these lines that these kids are running coming out of Malmesbury, which today we know as turn 4 Pirelli, just insane. They're so wide. They're going out there literally clipping the curbs. And I am impressed every single time what these bikes are capable of doing. They don't move around at all, extremely solid under mid-corner and under braking, and these things rock and roll.
I'm loving the fact that they're putting on a bit of a show as well, which is all part of the deal when it comes to motorcycle racing. You don't want one rider disappearing at the front end and not having anybody to play with, because that kind of makes the racing boring. What they're doing right now is giving a show to the crowd that have come out here in a big way, as well as internationally on our live streaming.
Yeah, we've got good local support here, and the guys have tuned in to the fact that we are running Superbike Sunday, and PVRs all over the world are blowing up as MotoGP rocks on.
Exactly. So they're having to decide whether they should go and buy the Explorer or not, so that they can watch 3 channels at the same time and tape 25.
Exactly. I need a bigger hard drive on mine. It's just not coping this year. Coccione is still throwing the good numbers, but we're seeing that quarter marker of the race, and these kids are starting to turn up the wick, as they say.
Yeah, I'm loving this little battle that's starting to rage. It really is awesome stuff, and looking forward to seeing more of the same as we get into this battle royal.
Coming out of Pirelli then, Coccione is making it a 4-rider like he did towards the end of heat number 1. And unfortunately, Tyrese Robert has lost the toe. He is not going to be able to recover. He's going to have to work extremely hard to get that done. So just over 6 laps remaining in this race. And unfortunately, a rough lap out of Tyrese Roberts has lost the toe.
Yeah, he's just lost the advantage there that he had, and he was starting to close in. However, as we're looking at things and the way they turn out in this particular class and what we've seen so far today, with the battles that are raging at the front, they do slow each other down, so Tyrese can make up that ground and find a way back again.
Oh yeah, William Friend still running, and it was around about this stage of the race that his 34 machine let go. So it's all good news that we've got a little bit of in-house battling happening between Brendan Staffen and Sneyman. And please, 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 hopefully these kids can stay on the tour. I know Dave from Rad Motos will be doing some hustling up there to try and get us racing.
I don't know what happened there. There we go. It's all good. It's all good. We're back again and looking very tasty down into Discover Digital, Damstip, and Staffen side by side with Sneyman. I am just absolutely amazed with the kind of lines that these guys are able to find with these bikes. And really, there's nothing in it between them. And around the outside of Pirelli Malmesbury goes Q and Sneyman.
Well, he doesn't know any other way.
As he comes through, you can see a little bit of issues there on the headset there from Matt's point of view, but I'm sure it'll get sorted out pretty rapidly. Just going to readjust and re-plug in. But down into the braking markers, you can see just hard braking from all the riders. And in fact, the hardest braking came out of Tyrese Robert, who's now closed back in again. He's only about a bike length off, or 2 bike lengths off Coccione there. And if he keeps going and the battle continues between these 2 riders in front, they are going to concertina effect yet again.
Yeah, it's a worry to see what these guys are doing.
Heading down to turn 1, the 46 bike leans out. Killarney Snowman, absolutely amazing to keep out Brandon Staffen. But he's now decided maybe just turn the wick up a little bit. You know, we are getting into the closing stages. We have 5 laps done. We've got 5 to go. So it's now time to sort of start sorting things out. And Killarney Snowman, of course, looking for a victory here and looking to have a bit of a dominant day in terms of this Super Juniors.
Sorry, Greg, jump in. Great to see that Tyrese Robert has actually been able to recover from this. And if you watch every single lap that they go through turn number 2 at Portable Shade, it's Coccione that is busting that thing way wide. But both Coccione and Robert do not have good lines going into Discover Digital and through Pirelli, and they have to do it all under the big drive coming out of turn number 5, NGL Logistics, which is Cape Town Corner, just to try and close up on that gap. Dominic Doyle, no man's land at the moment, and one of those riders that should be running a little bit higher, so his bike has gone off. Jared Schultz is scoring in 7th place at the moment ahead of Reinhard Joubert. If you notice, if we do see a shot of Reinhard, he's running without a screen out there at the moment, so he's got some issues, and as well as Jenna Claire Eckert, who just hasn't had a great day at the office today, and I think it's the very first time that she has actually been to the Cape Town circuit. So we know she's on the tour. We know she's going to be putting in the times and getting the job done for next season. So she'll be running up there. Again, Tyrese Robert just on the drive coming out onto the main straight, falling off the back. And you can see that the pace is definitely picking up there. Fastest lap of the race, throwing that time out. And it was between Sneyman and Friend actually tagging the fastest lap of the race there in the crowd.
And starting to turn the wick up, as we said. So remember, while William Friend not scoring in the first race, was now looking to take a top of the step podium finish here in race number 2. Looking at the way things ended up in race number 1, remember we had a battle at the front between Staffen and Killarney Sneyman, and Sneyman is exactly where he needs to be if he wants to make it a double here on the day.
Exactly. All diving and slowing the pace once again. Going into Double D, Discover Digital, turn 3. And once again, everyone joins the party. This time around, though, Tyrese Robert getting left way behind. He has lost over half a second. Looks like about 0.8 or 0.9. Coccione, though, doing the big recover.
Always nice to see that as he comes through. Now, 4x4, they head down
William
towards...
Friend. He's so good at finding that toe.
Look at Coccione on the toe as well. Comes alongside. It's 4 adrift heading into the bottom turn at Cape Town, and NGL Logistics has just seen some of the best action ever out of Super Juniors. 4 bikes side by side on the braking markers, and a change up yet again for the lead. Staffen hanging on.
If Coccione wants to do some learning, he needs to watch the replays of this, because it's under brakes that he is getting eaten up badly. He had a chance.
He was right there.
He could have led going in there.
No doubt about it.
So he's
going to try and carry the corner speed.
He's going to have to work on his corner entry to try and close up. His race pace is good, his mid-corner and his drive, but on the brakes, he's going to have to get more aggressive.
It's on the brakes and leading into the mid-corner that he's got to try and roll through. He's just backing out of it ever so slightly, and that's what he's got to try and just... Unfortunately, it's also a maturity thing, so I'm sure it's going to come as he gets better and better.
He's just trying to be too nice. I'd have shoved it in there.
Yeah, exactly. you would have taken somebody out there who had to.
Never.
But on the inside, Coccione now. Tyrese Robert is back in it too. Not too far off, and
it's this yo-yo effect. Yep. We're not seeing breakaways. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon, and it looks like it may have actually happened on the second half of that lap. The 46 of Sneyman has the biggest gap. Last time across the stripe, it was 0.038. It is definitely around about 0.3 right now.
Oh, nice move up the inside into second place there from William Friend.
That's the other side of the coin. How aggressive and how deep and how late you can go into a turn. On a KTM RC390, ask William Friend. That's how deep. He gets it done every single time. The king of the inside line.
Unfortunately, he just loses out, though, on the drive down the main
Coccione, once again, good numbers, but watch him roll out of it. Yeah, he's just not going in deep.
Not carrying and maintaining the pace that he's getting under braking and the ability he's getting under braking. And that's allowing Tyrese to join him. Tyrese is now right with it, so possibility of a change up there for 4th place.
And watch this lap again. As they go into turn number 2, they're going into turn number 1. Tyrese is right there and got a chance to climb underneath. Tyrese is good on the brakes, so watch out for a move for the 22 up the inside.
There he goes.
You can see him clipping
and he's
the gears.
got it.
Yeah, job done.
Up to
Way
4th place.
too early on the brakes for Coccione.
And good timing too, because we're into 8 laps completed, 2 to go.
Watch for Coccione in the background here as well. He often runs it way too deep into turn number 2, which is portable shade turn. That's where we're heading now. He enters too early, and that pushes him way wide. He's got the line up the inside, but watch him bust wide. There. His entry is too early on, and that is killing his mid-turn.
And Coccione just capitalizes on that, goes around the outside and retakes, I should say, the 4th position, as our 3 leaders go into Discover Digital Damps dip. And that was too close for my liking.
That's how
Front
it's
wheel
been
and back wheel almost
That's
touching.
how it's been the whole way through the race. No problems for Sneyman. He likes to live life on the edge, and I do mean that literally.
The edge of the rubber on that Pirelli.
Of the rubber, edge of the rubber, and where tarmac becomes curb becomes dirt.
Yeah, it becomes sky dirt, hospital.
Please no.
No, we definitely. Here we go again. Now it's 5 by 5. Can you believe that bit of action? Tyrese Robert on the inside. Outguns William Friend. Here comes Staffen around the outside.
Coccione.
And Coccione makes a slight mistake.
There was a tag there as well.
Yes, indeed.
Coccione has been listening to me. He obviously read my Facebook post, and he climbed up the inside, but he did tag a wheel, and that has just rattled him. You can see we're heading into the last lap of the race, and Coccione is falling off the back wheel now.
It's now or never time, that's for sure.
Going to burst in a song now.
I was about to, yeah. Right, so 4 riders and nothing in it between them. Who is your money on? Right now, Staffen is controlling things. On his tail is Sneyman looking for a double victory. Staffen wants to swap that out for the double podium we're about to go and do for Super Juniors. And William Friend is looking just to get onto the podium to get some points in the bag. Because remember, he is the man who leads the championship coming into this round.
Yeah, no score for him. And look at this overtaking. 5 riders into 1. Coccione on the 67 climbs underneath, tags onto the back wheel of Staffen. There's the touch. You saw the handlebars twitch. He did very well to let go of the brakes and be able to ride that one out. I
must say, if they hadn't done the modifications to the front end of their bike that they had, that would have been 2 riders down.
Yeah, really, because the stock forks, well, they are running stock forks, but the stock triple clamps, a little bit skinnier and more flexible. The stiffening that they do and the upgrades, a small upgrade has changed the entire riding characteristic of this race machine.
Heads up for a small upgrade here into the final turn of this race. It's Staffen on the inside. He's got the drop and he gets ahead. It's going to be a drag race to the line between himself and Sneyman.
Remember,
Sneyman runs wide and he's forced him wide so that he can't get the drive. Good riding there from Brandon Staffen. Staffen now leads out. It's a drag race to the line with Sneyman on his tail. William Friend is going to hang on for 3rd. Tyrese Robert is going to take 4th, but who is going to take the victory? They come across side by side.
It looks like Staffen, no, Sneyman did get the pull in the end. So can you believe it? Even though he had to roll out off the exit of turn number 5, NGL Logistics, the 46 goes through and doubles up on the day. And the gap was nothing, Greg, 0.058 at the end. William Friend gets a 3rd place. Tyrese Robert, what a good turnaround for his race weekend to stay in the mix. And that will fire him up heading towards the next round. He gets 4th place ahead of Luca Coccione. Jared Schultz, good recovery for him as well. And Dominic Doyle having a rough time in heat number 1 in the 26, down in 7th place ahead of Rainer Joubert. And Jenna Claire Eckhout will be scored in 9th place on the 41 Rad Motors machine. Once again, the Super Juniors on the KTM RC 390s delivering the goods. Sure, it's hard work to keep up with these kids, but the closest and best bit of racing action we have seen coming out of the Super Juniors since their inception, and we have been following the tour on the regionals and the nationals with these kids. A lot of familiar names doing the entire tour, and great work once again for Dave at Rad Motos and KTM Klerksdorp, the guys that are very much behind this. Dave mainly putting in all the work on these machines and getting the kids and promoting it alongside Vaughan Swanepoel from KTM South Africa. And the fact that you can actually buy one of these in race prep spec at 75K is just insane. And that's why we're seeing it as a very popular package. Now it looks like we've got a highlights package coming out of heat number 2 of the Super Juniors. Off the start, once again, incredible drop off the line for the 34 of Friend. He is so good at getting that hammer down and positioning himself correctly. He got himself ahead of Kuhn Sneyman, and Doyle, he was climbing up the inside, but unfortunately, he got sat up, and everyone managed to sweep her on the outside. The inside line does not give you a big pull. The normal contenders looked like they were going to do the breakaway. Friend, Sneyman, and Staffen. It looked like that was going to be the 3-horse race out front. But this time around, Coccione and Tyrese Robert did stay in the mix. Looked like they were falling off for a while. In fact, Tyrese Robert fell back out of a second. But because of the in-house fighting for the 4 out front, the gap was pulled back and the 5-way split was delivered. Couple of chances, all of them happening down at turn number 5. NGL Logistics opened it up, also slowed it up, and brought the bunch all back together. Tyrese Robert joined the party. Coccione had a couple of chances and a couple of near misses as well later on in the race. When it came down to the end, though, it was a big drag race, and heading into the last couple of laps, still no breakaways. And it was the 46 of poleman, Kuhn Sneyman, who would lead, and everyone was literally tripping over each other heading on to the last couple of laps to get the job done. There was definitely a little bit of craziness thrown in on that last lap as well. And literally, the last lap got wild. The penultimate lap, a little touch for Coccione as he let go of the brakes going into turn number 5. And then the big pull as they headed towards the flag. And an incredible slipstream effect. Brendan Staffen looked like he had it. And Kuhn Sneyman took the flag to go double on the day with 2 victories at Cape Town.
And on top of the podium for race number 1, it's Kuhn Sneyman. Handing out third place to Luca Coccione, Miss Ingi Crow from Gas Sports, thank you. Going to hand that out to Luca Coccione. A good effort there, Luca. Well done, buddy. Second place from Tim Cook, also from Gas Sports, going to Brandon Staffen. And nice to see the Rad Motor boys putting in a big effort there, Dave. Good effort, Dave Griffin, handing out first place to Kuhn Sneyman. Let's make some noise. We're going to ask you boys to step down quickly. We're going to just have a quick chat with Luca because he's the only one that changes up ever so slightly. I know this is not your favorite part of the day, but you got to talk to me at some point, and we're going to teach you how to do this. Dude, it was a bit of a tough day in the saddle in the first race. Much better in the second one from your point of view, but a little bit of luck going your way when William had some bad luck.
Yeah, when that happened, I had to go on the outside. I was actually worried that it just hit the curb or something. He was coming after me. When I looked back on the straight, he wasn't there.
So you were very lucky, and hopefully now looking to bring that luck to the next round as we go to Red Star.
I hope so, yeah.
Awesome job. Well done, buddy. Let's move on to our second race podium. It's a very similar one. The only thing that changes is the man we're just talking about. His luck went from 0 to hero. In third place, Wild William Friend. In second place, once again, it's Brandon Staffen. He'll come up to the second place on the podium. And as I mentioned earlier, only by 0.058 of a second. The victory going, once again, to Kuhn Sneyman. So third place from Ingi Crow from Gas Sports to William Friend. He'll still be doing a good job in terms of the overall championship, even though he didn't have a great first outing in the first race. Second place from Mr. Tim Cook, going to Brandon Staffen. So he gets a trophy and a medal. Trophy hunters here, being followed up once again by Dave Griffin from Rad, handing to Kuhn Sneyman, I beg your pardon, for the race win in race 2. Great job, guys. Come on down. Let's first speak to William Friend. Wild Will, unfortunately, not a great one in the first one there. What actually went wrong, buddy?
I'm not sure. I was coming third and I was going to plan a move for the last lap, and then the bike just died going into the turn, so I had to pull off.
And now took it back to the pits, and they sorted it out and back on the podium.
Yeah, well, I tried my hardest and I thought let me just finish rather than backed off a bit towards the end and got a podium.
I like the way that you kept your head as well, starting to ride a little bit more maturely, because it's now, of course, consolidation time in this championship. You need to make sure you get podiums and get points.
Yeah, there's no more time for crashing and that. Now I've just got to finish.
Awesome job. Well done. Let's move on to second. Where did they disappear to? They just run away. Where is Brandon Staffen? Get on up here, Bran. You can't get away from this, bud. You have to chat to me at some point. Eh? A fantastic day's racing from your point of view, but epic battles and exactly what we expected from SuperGP.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Keating and Janssen, Princeton Cleaning, and Airwaves for sponsoring my leathers. And yeah, Q and Snowman put on a brilliant dice, and I give him 10 points.
No doubt about it. You've taken some good points away from William Friend as well, which is bringing the championship a bit closer.
Yeah, it's going to go down to Red Star. Hopefully he doesn't have bike problems again, but you know, it's going to be good. Hopefully we see Q and Snowman there again.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Well done. Let's get Kieran up here and have a chat with him. Yeah, we got to find some money to get this young man up to Red Star Raceway. Dude, what an effort out there. Great racing. Well done. Congratulations. And now looking forward to getting you in full time for the Super Juniors.
I would love to be racing the juniors for the rest of the season. I would just like to thank everyone that has helped me get on the grid today, financially, and to my friends and family, and to Zante for supporting me. And just thank you to everyone who helped me get out there.
All right, who's Zante? Who is Zante? Come on up here, please. Don't be scared. You can't mention a hot chick and not bring her up here, buddy. This is Zante, ladies and gentlemen, worldwide. This is one. Awesome job, and we look forward to seeing you at Red Star. The Diode SuperGP Champions Trophy is proudly brought to you by Digital Entertainment On Demand and their associate sponsors.